Hi, I'm Beth Becker, and this is my husband, Mark. Abiding Christ was not only an early launching pad for my spiritual walk, but also a safety net, landing pad, and a safety blanket for when I needed a safe place to heal and truly grow into the woman of God that I was designed to be. Above anywhere else in my life, Abiding Christ has provided a wide open space for this growth and molding to where my gifts can be realized and utilized at their fullest. My life's mission, even before committing to God, has been to be encouraging to others, to give every person more hope than before, and leave them in a better place after our encounter. Every person, every time, whether that is at the grocery store, in school, or in our neighborhood, and so on. Abiding Christ has embraced me as well as my new family and empowered me to put into action those gifts which God has given to me. From serving as a confirmation leader to acting on the pastoral search committee to exercising my degrees and my profession as a school counselor on the mental health committee to participating as an usher and counter, God has protected me, blessed me, and inspired me in many ways that can be translated into service to others. What good is my faith if it doesn't bear fruit? Because of his protection and blessing, I am inspired to give back to the extent that he has given to me. And because it is neither possible to adequately repay him, or is it necessary, what is reserved for God should first go through his children by way of my serving them as I am gifted, old and young alike.
As the saying goes, grow where you're planted. But before that, I like to say blow till you've landed. By that I mean God may allow you to simply sit in one place, take root, and grow in that spot your whole life. With others, he may also move you from one place to another because of circumstances, either by his design or ours. I'm committed to abiding Christ because this is where God has brought me. I have been a part of numerous churches in my 50 years, and each was for a purpose and season. I'd like to think that this season is more permanent than others, since it is tied to my marriage to Beth. The circumstances of our marriage is the wind God used to plant me here. And it is a privilege to join Beth at Abiding Christ Church due to the fundamental impact you have had on her in terms of supporting her and being that extended family. Abiding Christ has shown open arms for us individually based on our talents as well as a couple. As for giving, this is the only place in the Bible where God says, "Test me." The Old Testament, which was more rules-based, said give 10%. That was the standard. However, as the Old Testament often does, Christ's sacrifice, foreshadowed in Malachi 3:10, says to bring in the whole tithe. The New Testament, which is more principle-based, reflects that sentiment, as Christ gave the full amount. He became the new standard. So I believe it is no longer a question of how much will we give, but rather knowing Christ's sacrifice of his own life, how much am I going to keep for myself? God says not to give under compulsion, but rather both sacrificially to the point where it hurts and happily. That's a fine balance, happiness and sacrifice. But it makes the giving part more of a conscious check-in with one's own spiritual walk to have to reevaluate every week, month, or year, how much will I keep for myself, rather than casually write 10% or whatever percent each and every time, regardless of if it hurts or not. Giving is more about the giver than the recipient. God doesn't need our money. He wants to see what it means to us. And I confess, I have not challenged God to the extent I believe he's asking.
If you want to know where you should give of your time, talents, and treasures, give where you see God at work. This is why myself and my family is at Abiding Christ. We don't know who else God is going to plant here, So each week needs to be a training for readiness when that person crosses our path and enters our doors. Then we can provide them the same hope that was given and shown to us. And we need to continue on that journey to make every person that enters this church feel welcome and have that positive impact on them as they cross our paths.